Hey guys, and welcome back to the SOOP Duel series. Today we have a RoyaL versus Soulkey, with RoyaL over here in the top left, Soulkey in the top right. Finally, the champion takes the stage in the SOOP Duel series. This is a series from 2024, I believe. We've got games or maps such as Minstrel in the mix. Kickback is in there as well, so this was played a little while ago, but that might be good for RoyaL here. RoyaL was at a bit of a peak in power in 2024. Did have a hard time this season. Got knocked out really early on in ASL. Had a rough performance. Hasn't been performing at his peak in KCM either. But back in 2024, he was quite the force to be reckoned with, especially in this matchup. I'm hoping that we can get a good competition between these two, because I expect Soulkey to win. I expect Soulkey to dominate this. Again, it's always a bad idea to bet against Soulkey. This guy is so incredibly powerful. We'll see. We'll see what RoyaL can bring out. First off, he's going to bring a Marine across. Just try to pressure this first drone that pops out into at least not mining immediately. And it looks like Soulkey hasn't even sent that out, so I'm gonna make a couple of lings here back at home. Make sure that he can drive away these Marines. Of course, RoyaL wants to keep tabs on how many lings are made. Look at that, Soulkey hiding 2 lings on the high ground. That's a very smart play from him. You may even hide up to 4 lings up there and keep dancing around with these 2 lings to disguise the fact of how many lings he's actually made. Maybe try to jump on top of these Marines from RoyaL. RoyaL walking all the way up to the front and then backing down. Good move from him, because there were more lings here waiting. And in fact, more popping out. So going up to 6 lings. Those Marines would have been killed for sure, so 6 Marines, 6 lings. No SCV to block here. You could absolutely wipe out this force from RoyaL. Let's see if he takes the fight. No, not going to take it just yet. Waiting for that ling speed. With a bit of splitting from RoyaL, this could go bad for Soulkey. He is going to try and rotate around this army here, forcing it all the way back into the natural. Drone being sent out down towards what looks like bottom right, I think. Maybe going to take that natural. Meanwhile, going into a layer and getting that spire on the way. Let's see the follow-up from RoyaL, getting a shot in the base now. Engineering bay is coming up on time for those turrets, not opening with a +1 build instead. Some sort of academy rush out of RoyaL. Let's see if he moves out at 5 minutes. Not just yet. Hanging back for now. It's like a 4 racks play out of him, at least so far. I'm going up to that 4 racks now. He's going to have a powerful early mid game, but the tech is going to be slowed down a bit. It's not as slow as your traditional 5 racks play, but this is the more modern version of that 5 racks. You only go up to 4, get that factory going just that little bit sooner. Get your tech online at a better timing. So RoyaL here pushing out slightly just before the 6-minute mark as the mutas are coming across the map. He's been very conservative with his Marines so far. Moving out just a little bit and then backing up over and over again. Lings run by. Ooh, this is sneaky play from Soulkey. If he kills the missile turret here at the barracks, that could be huge. He's going to get a Marine kill there. Not killing the turret off quite, but going to come in with the mutas now. Only needs 1 missile shot and then immediately kills the turret. Jumping on top of the production line here RoyaL walking up this ramp, not even hitting the stim button, just walking up here. Maybe he didn't have stim? I'm not really sure what is going on here. I haven't heard of stim yet. Oh, stim's not done. Oh my god, this is a huge mistake from RoyaL. I mean, Soulkey is going to pull him apart. Easy win here from, or for Soulkey from this position. Just sitting on top of the barracks, killing off everything. I'm not sure what went wrong there exactly from RoyaL, but that stim was incredibly late. Game over, GG. First game goes to Soulkey. I don't know what that was. Maybe a brain fart, but here we are in game number 2. RoyaL, top left, has a 7-game series versus the champ here in top right. Soulkey, gotta shoot your shot. Try your best. But a lot of pressure for RoyaL, who has an ASL title under his belt, but he doesn't hold nearly the gravitas of this guy. Soulkey is becoming an absolute legend after all of his wins in the ASL consecutively. The most winning player in ASL consecutively. Not quite as winning as Flash, but he has made history in that regard, and I'm sure RoyaL has a bit of nerves going into this series because of that gravitas. Going to be opening once again with a 1-Rax expansion. Setting up on the low ground here of Pantheon. Of course, there's not a lot of high ground on this map, just a small sliver of high ground over the entrance to the main base, and then 4 tiny little squares of high ground at 12, 6, 3, and 9, but not sure how much that'll come into play this game. Depends on if we get past those first few moments. If we get past the Mutalisk transition, the Soulkey has that killer instinct with the Mutalisk attacks. Sensing that anything is out of place. A Marine is out of place. A turret's not in the right spot. That there's a small gap that he can slip through. He's immediately going to take advantage of that. 6 Lings on the way across the map from Soulkey. Going to put on the early pressure. With this wall, RoyaL should be absolutely fine. And we'll just completely deny this. Now, you have to keep the SCVs here for a little bit. With the build, Soulkey has foregone a lot of his early droning time, so just living here, regardless of, you know, pulling 4, 5, 6 SCVs is going to put you in a good spot. Wants to try and maximize his advantage as much as possible, though, so pulling those SCVs back as soon as he can, as soon as he's got 3, 4 Marines out, and getting that CC started as soon as possible. This is a good advantage for RoyaL, but is it big enough to take down Soulkey? Soulkey is one of those players who's extremely comfortable, even from a spot of disadvantage. Playing from disadvantage, he is supremely confident. And so kind of giving the build order win here to RoyaL doesn't mean that he's out of this by any means. He's going to have a few less drones than he should, but his macro is kind of unmatched. Going to be hitting those drones and making sure he has just enough to deal with whatever RoyaL sends out on the map right now. RoyaL just sitting back at home, getting this 2-Rax Academy online. This is exactly how you should punish a player who opens with the early pool. build all these lings and they get nothing done. Going directly into 2Rack's Academy and sending out an attack is fantastic. You just force out more lings and possibly even sunken colonies. It just slows down the muta transition that much more. And so we'll probably see that 5-minute move out. There's the first medic. Is he ready to move? Not just yet. There's Stim now on the way. Looks like he didn't forget that upgrade this time. But it does seem a bit late still. That's interesting. Usually to be done right around that 5-minute mark. Not a Terran player, but I've been hit with this build enough times to know that Stim finishes up right around 5 minutes and the Terran players move directly across the map at you. One medic in the wall and Marine behind it. That means he could move forward if he wants to. Just 4 lings here are holding back RoyaL from moving across the map. I'm a little bit surprised. If he wanted to put on some more pressure, Soulkey would be definitely forced to build significant numbers of lings or at least 1 sunken colony to keep himself alive. But RoyaL just sitting back here, afraid that there might be a lot more lings waiting out on the map for him. And now the mutas are going to be able to rally across the map. There's the Stim upgrade. We start to fight these mutas. Ooh, good snipe there to start things off. 1 kill already on the mutas is quite nice. It's going to delay the break point of 7 mutalists by a little bit. Just killing that 1 mutas. Oh, can he get 1 more? Yeah, there. See, 7 mutas. They're going to come in. If he had killed that 1 more muta, we wouldn't have seen any one-shots here. Oh, and he's going to get 1. Oh my goodness. Soulkey actually falling apart a little bit here. Mutalist that was, I think, sent back home. Gets caught in the rally. That's a little bit rough. And now RoyaL here right out in front of the natural. Pressuring. You can see Soulkey sitting on just 20 drones. Is being forced to make a couple of sunken colonies while continuing to produce mutas. RoyaL doesn't want to dive in on this. He doesn't have enough Marines to actually kill. But if the mutas leave, then RoyaL could absolutely go for a dive. So we're in kind of a stalemate situation, and RoyaL sends 4 Marines down to bottom right. This is perfect play from RoyaL. Actually, really good stuff out of him. Immediately realizing the conundrum that Soulkey is in. Not able to send these mutas away from the natural. And trying to build up some drones behind it. Trying to get some drones down here in the bottom right. I'm going to go ahead and Stim. See if he can't kill this hatchery. But a few lings pop out all at the same time. They will be able to deal with the Marines. So the hatchery lives, at least for now. The Marines here are getting a little bit low. Targeting down some of these mutas. Not enough army here to take out all the mutas. So RoyaL will be driven back. Wow, Soulkey hanging on by the skin of his teeth, guys. Barely living in this game, keeping that 3rd base alive. These are the scrappy scenarios and situations where Soulkey thrives. Can he get into this lurker transition and hold his 3rd? It'll still be tough from there. RoyaL kind of stopped on 33 SCVs. Gonna continue to pump out huge amounts of Marines, and this transition is going to come online pretty quickly. We'll see if RoyaL can bust open Soulkey as he makes this transition work. Ooh, 2 muta snipes without any kills on those Marines. So RoyaL going to split his army half going over towards bottom right, and I don't think that Soulkey's aware of this. Uh-oh. This could be really painful, guys. Oh, everything getting cleaned up here. Absolutely everything is going wrong for Soulkey now. With this army making its way down towards bottom right, the hatchery will fall and GG is called. Not quite able to walk that tightrope from a deficit. Soulkey gets taken down game number 2. RoyaL puts one on the board. Nice to see. We've got a series here, guys. Pantheon goes to RoyaL. Jumping in now to game number 3. RoyaL top right. Soulkey bottom left. Cross map situation. And this map, kickback, we saw in 2024. In the latter part of 2024, Soulkey showed us how it was done here after that. Finals versus Light. Or was that the semifinals? Might have been the semifinals. I could be getting that wrong. He showed us the power of Crazy Zerg on this map. And ever since then, Terran players have been going for 1-1-1 and mech play here. It's been very rare that we've seen Marine Medic on this map, because Soulkey is just so clean with that Crazy Zerg. It's so hard to deal with. Gotta force some other tech out of him. Gotta force him to play a different style of game. And as the Terran player, you have the ability to kind of dictate the pace. If you want to go for mech, it requires an entirely different response from Soulkey, from the Zerg player, than something like an MMM, 5 Rex, 4 Rex, whatever you want to do. Gas. There it is. That's what I was expecting. RoyaL going for some sort of tech. Possibly 1-1-1, maybe Vulture. It could be Valkyrie. We'll have to wait and see here as he sets up his wall. Going to be able to block out the drone, and of course, being cross map, not going to be easy for Soulkey to get any information when it comes to Overlord scouting. It's going to be coming in very late, and Marines are already be out to start denying that scouting information. So this is a bit of a tough spot for Soulkey, that's for sure. Drone heading over towards top right. Soulkey actually moved his Overlord in kind of an interesting path here. First Overlord gonna head for the center right before even scouting bottom right. So he sees the wall in. Maybe he can still get in here a little closer. Oh, gonna eat some of these minerals. That's funny. Rotating back and forth. Trying to get some of that juicy, that sweet mineral. Well, there's only one Marine out. Wasn't able to cover both of those. And so the threat is real. I could potentially bring another couple of drones, mine that mineral patch, and bust through with Lings. Oh my gosh, Forge. 5 HP now on that drone. That was pretty close. Almost caught that drone on the retreat path. Some Lings are out now, and RoyaL will have to retreat. Lair on the way. Soulkey just with the 1 extra hatchery now. It's sitting here on 2 base economy with a creep colony coming up in the front. Make sure that he's got all of his defenses in order. I know a Vulture can't just kill him here. Only made the 2 Lings, so he's primarily focused on drones. Need to make a few extra Lings, though. You can't be losing any Lings, and you need to make a few extra to block, because a run by is quite scary. Yeah, that's going to be triple Vulture with speed. Definitely a run by is incoming. Might even be a good idea for Soulkey to just throw down buildings in the wall, because this can be insanely difficult to deal with. Lands, builds another Marine. He's trying to maybe fake out Soulkey here. Not let him know. Wow, going up to 4 Vultures with speed. That is kind of wild. Doubling, trying to run by. Trying to get some information here. He hasn't seen the vultures. Oh boy, this is scary. Hasn't seen the vultures yet. There they are. He sees them. The vultures are coming. He sees the speed. Double sunken colony here. Gonna pull all the drones. Dude, the scouting information was so important. All right, builds 2 evolution chambers at that front. Really well done here. I love the response from Soulkey. Very well calculated response out of him. And now RoyaL gets no damage. I mean, he's gonna hit that evolution chamber for sure, but Soulkey can take his 3rd. Or he can try to all in with Muta. That's a possibility as well. You guys will note that vultures do not shoot up. That's an important point to remember. I know, deep casting, deep information here, but these do not shoot up. Goliaths have not been made from the beginning. With any mech play, you're gonna be walking a tightrope in the early game. Having just enough anti-air to keep these Mutalisks back. He doesn't have turrets. He's only got 4 Goliaths. If there was just non-stop Mutalisk production, things could get kind of hairy here. On 4. Can slide through, start to hit some of these buildings. Draw the Goliaths back and forth. He sees the 4 Goliaths. He's going to take the fight here. Goliath range is just about done. It's going to be finishing up here in a moment. Vultures trying to run by again, still not able to do so. That evolution chamber continuing to be useful here at the front. He's even keeping 1 Muta back at home to make sure that the vultures don't just kill that off. Only 2 Goliaths in the main base. This natural is coming up now, so quite a heavy delay from RoyaL. So because he built those vultures, he didn't have enough anti-air. He wasn't able to throw down a CC right away. He had to sit back and just make Goliaths for a bit to make sure that he was safe. And now he can throw down his CC, whereas Soulkey, only commitment he needed to defend was to build those 2 sunken colonies and 2 evolution chambers. That's quite a bit of money and drones, but behind this, he's going to be droning up like crazy, and his hatcheries were not delayed. In fact, this 3rd hatchery is quite quick. And he can drone up very heavily behind this. Mutas are still looking for damage here and there. Hasn't been able to find anything just yet, but there we go. Slow down on the CC is nice. Slow down on the CC is quite good for him. And so, yeah, this CC, oh my gosh, he sent the SCVs, but the CC is not done, man. I'm gonna get one of those to building, but you're at 8 minutes. Still, that 3rd CC is not fully mining. In fact, the 3rd of Soulkey is done now. Oh, burrow as well. I love it. Burrow against mech is so good. Having lings spread out everywhere, just burrowed all over the map. You'll be able to see absolutely everything that goes on. You'll be able to see every move out from your opponent. Going into up mech from here. This is going to be a tough game for RoyaL. Not going to sugarcoat it. Soulkey, despite not being able to go crazy Zerg on this map, is still going to have a pretty good time. He's managed to hold everything. Keep himself safe while figuring out exactly what build that RoyaL wants to follow up with. I don't know if he's seen the science facility here just yet. Might want to sack 1 Muta to fly in and just see that. Yeah, there we go. Sacks it. Damn. Soulkey's so good. As soon as you see the science facility there, even just seeing the starport is enough. Science facility starport, you know, all right, we have to transition into Hydra. In fact, he had the Hydra Den already done, and he's got double upgrade, of course, because of those 2 evolution chambers. That's great. We'll be just cranking away on those upgrades, keeping the armor upgrade rolling for the air as well is good. He's got +1 attack, +1 armor is coming. Can go right up into +2 armor as well. Just keep that in the back pocket in case there's a big transition into... Oh my gosh, he got this first science vessel. Dude, what? Soulkey flying in at the exact moment that the vessel pops out. That was so well calculated there. I refuse to believe that that was just pure luck and chance. Soulkey just sends it in right as the first vessel pops and kills it for free. Or nearly for free, taking some damage, losing maybe 1 Mutalisk. That is amazing, though. RoyaL's not feeling comfortable in this game at all. Nice burrow there. Just going to burrow the drone before these vultures can snipe it. Keeping that alive is really important. Getting that 4th base online as soon as possible. Because you can see here, RoyaL getting his own 3rd up. Gotta stay ahead. Here as the Zerg, we cannot be sitting on even bases for any amount of time. Especially against mech, where the trades are going to be stronger and stronger as time goes on. Tanks are starting to file out here. More factories are being added on. Soulkey just playing a really good defensive game, making sure that he doesn't lose any drones back at home, keeping this drone saturation high and doing little pokes and prods here and there against RoyaL. No big dive-ins and, you know, trying to overwhelm these Goliaths. Instead, just sniping down critical units, killing off an SCV here or there, going down the CCs, and picking off that vessel was very good, even without using Scourge, mind you. Now, big waves of Hydras are starting to head out on the field, clearing out these mines and taking more control over this map. In fact, he's double expanding down in bottom right and bottom center. Gas guys are not really mining that efficiently back at home for RoyaL. That could affect his mech transition. He's spending a lot of money on upgrades right now, and of course vessels. Those are going to be very useful later on. Ooh, big wave of queens comes out. We might see him build just an enormous number of queens this game. He's got a ton of time as RoyaL kind of powers up here to get out a lot of queens so that he can snipe down absolutely every tank. Now, we haven't gotten a shot of the science facility for a little bit. I'm not sure if that's still researching. If it is, EMP will be on the way, but I doubt that RoyaL knows about this. I mean, you kind of have to guess that this is coming. Wow, that's a lot of turrets. A lot of turrets. That messed up mining may be worth it, just to prevent these mutas from being annoying. Probably want to kill one of those soon, though. Really get that mining going. Muta's still flying around, but it's just the bare minimum. The mutas that were made earlier on in the game, he's not committed to that at all. He's building up into a huge Hydra force. In fact, ahead in supply. So many Hydras are out right now, ready to fight this mech army. RoyaL looking around for any sort of damage he can get, but he just can't find anything. Bottom right here is closed. Lots of Hydras at that choke. And the queens are now ready. 150 energy on those for sure. Mutas are still being utilized to just fly around, clearing out mines, making sure that he's got a clear path of attack to try and break this 4th base. RoyaL slowly sliding up in that direction. +2/+1 is done for Soulkey. Getting into his hive so that he can start +3. Energy upgrade for queens. Gamete mitosis. Name of that upgrade. At least I think that's how it's pronounced. 1 queen coming up here. Gonna get a parasite on that one. Goliath, the parasite on the vessel as well is really nice. You're not just gonna kill your own vessel, I don't think. here as RoyaL. So basically, from now on, there's just going to be floating vision over top of the entire Terran army. Maybe he gets restoration in a medic, but other than that, this vessel is a bit of a Judas here. It's going to be revealing the position. There's EMP. Okay, EMP on the way for RoyaL now. He's realized with that queen coming in to drop the parasite that he needs some sort of answer for mass queen. Never want to take a fight against an army like this that's already sieged up and in good position, but it looks like Soulkey maybe not going to heed that advice, just going directly in. I think he may end up losing a lot of queens here. Wow. That's what the parasite gives you guys. Perfect vision means he was able to completely split all of his queens. He gets a huge round of broodlings off. That massive round of broodlings is going to make this army so much less potent. Kind of pushing through a bit of a choke here. That doodad on the left side and right side really hurting him. A lot of Hydras going down in this fight. 4 tanks in the background. Enough to splash down everything in the front line. And oh, big mine connection there at the end of the fight as well. RoyaL going to unsiege and start moving. I'm not sure that this is a good idea. He could possibly move up towards top left and secure another base, but I don't know if he can come across the map right now. A lot of Goliaths pushing forward with the 2-2 is pretty strong. Gonna start to kill a lot of the overlords in the middle. If he pulled back right now, I would say that's a pretty good move, but he may be walking into a big old trap. Soulkey gonna start to surround this army. That's a lot of Hydras, but he just pulls back. Uh-oh. The damage here from the mech army is starting to stack up, and so many Hydras have died at this point in small groups. He might not have enough bulk to actually rip through this. Another round of broodlings is going to be available here soon. Will he be able to save 6 o'clock before it goes down here? Some sunken colonies are being made just to try and slow this down. Here comes the broodlings. Double broodlings so far. Another couple broodlings going to be thrown down here. Going to try and hit this from behind. I think he kills all the tanks. Counterattack from Soulkey is going to hit 12 o'clock while this base at 6 is going down. So a trade of bases. In the meantime, all the tanks are now gone. Oh, he's got to run forward here. Soulkey not moving with his Hydras. If he just runs up and snipes down the CC, it's a win. But the army is now making its way up here to defend, and that one tank getting so much splash damage on this army. Pushing down towards the bottom right. I think RoyaL overextending here. Definitely trying to push into this spot is going to end poorly for him. Look at the surround. All the Hydras coming from each different direction. I think just a kill on bottom center and then a retreat would have been better, but here he is losing every single unit, and he taps out. GG. Soulkey, that split with the queens. I think that's what we're going back to witness. Yeah, look at how many queens here. All of this was enabled by that parasite on the science vessel. Really nice control there. Now hopping into game number 4. We've got Soulkey over here in the top right. RoyaL in the bottom right. Time for deja vu, guys. We'll see how Soulkey wants to open here. This can be a tough map for Zerg. Let's check the opener. Vertical spawns. Is it time for RoyaL to pull out like an 8 racks? I wouldn't be too surprised, but I think there's a supply depot being built back at home. Yeah, supply depot and no SCV heading out. Not going to be that play. How else is he going to mix it up against Soulkey? Maybe another kecked out style from him. Oh, possibly CC first. Interesting. CC first out of RoyaL could give him a pretty massive advantage. and an opportunity to win early on. There it is, CC first. Oof. Good call. Good call here from RoyaL. I mean, it's hard to make a call like this when game 2, Soulkey went for an early pool. But he decides to throw it out, and he's going to be rewarded for his risk-taking, his gambling. It's a 12 hatch out of Soulkey, and this could lead into a really good game state for RoyaL. Now, does he want to mech after CC first? That can be a really strong way to play. Or is he just going to go for like a 2 racks Academy and come out with a lot of Marines really early on, try to pressure that front? We're going to see here in a moment. 2nd racks. There it is. So 2 racks play out of him. Not a big surprise there. Soulkey going to get in and see the next, or the CC first, and probably tilt his head to the side. It's a very difficult build to deal with, this CC first, once the Terran player's gotten away with it. Things are going to get a little bit messy for Soulkey. The Terran's just going to have way more than they should. At each and every point in the game from here on out, he can afford to make more turrets. He's going to have more Marines. He can get an earlier upgrade. These extra SCVs just do so much for you. Gives you so much power. He's going to get to that 35 SCV count way, way quicker. And Soulkey's just going to be sitting here playing his game. He's not going to get tilted. Make a lot of lings here, actually. Huh. That's quite a lot of lings. He's expecting RoyaL to move out, I think. He's expecting that sort of 5-minute move out. And he might even make more than this. He might make a lot more lings and just wait for RoyaL to push. See if he can't get a big surround. Yeah, look at all the lings popping out here. That is interesting. Soulkey kind of gambling himself right now. It was a gamble for RoyaL to go for the quick command center. But Soulkey gonna gamble right back by adding some lings here and trying to see if he can't just surround and kill the first army of RoyaL. Right as he moves out, we're hitting that 5-minute mark. Will RoyaL wait for a scan? That would be the smart thing to do. Wait for a scan. Scan the natural. See how many drones are there. He sees the number of drones. Is he suspicious? That's still a lot of drones, man. You can't really tell that Soulkey's made so many lings. But the fact is, he moved drones from the main base. He moved drones from the main. We're not getting a shot of it, but he moved drones out of that main to make it look like he hasn't. Oh gosh, he's gonna send the drones back now. Oh, that's kind of funny. Why would you send the drones back? Isn't that just a waste of time? I don't really understand that. Sending the drones back into the main base? Why? This is some silliness out of Soulkey. RoyaL just gonna sit here though. He's not being tricked. I can't believe he's not falling for this. It's kind of funny, but maybe still Soulkey can just dive. Let's see once he gets to like 7-8 mutas, if he just pulls the trigger with all the lings and tries to jump on top of these Marines. That's a very good spot for the bunker, by the way. That bunker is going to be really hard to kill. We got the mutas floating in. Scan top left. He's looking for the hatchery. Where's the 3rd hatchery? Little does he know, we're sitting on 15 drones. Completely all in. Oh my gosh, he walks right into the lings. This is huge. He walks right up the hill into the lings. And now the mutas can come for the cleanup. This is really good stuff. Now Soulkey can go for it. Diving here onto the Marines, coming down this hill. The Lings will run right by the bunker, up into the main base, start to kill the turrets here on high ground. As the turrets start to fall, now the Mutas can take over this production area of non-stop Mutalist production from here. A few Lings and non-stop Mutas will be coming across this map, immediately diving on top of the barracks. This works out so well for Soulkey. The patience has been rewarded. Indeed, the patience from Soulkey. Hanging back for such a long time there on that high ground, just waiting and waiting and waiting for RoyaL to push forward. The mind games here of sending the drones out to the natural as the scanner came online to fake that he had built a whole bunch of drones and was transitioning. Not going all in, and I don't really understand setting the drones back after, but really nice mind game, honestly. Really, really good mind game from Soulkey. And he takes another win on Deja Vu. Pretty strange decision making. Maybe he thought that there would be a scan in the main afterwards. Okay. All right. If this is true, this is like thinking, you know, 3-4 steps ahead. Dude, the giga brain on this guy. Send the drones to the natural to make it look like he had full saturation there, and then send the drones back to the main, assuming that RoyaL would scan that next. To make sure that he thinks that there's still full saturation. Dude, that is hilarious. If that's true. Murray, thank you so much for the 100 gems, my friend. We're getting very close to our gems goal. Thank you. Thanks to Murray and Ben Jixer for all the help towards that. Oh, a second barracks on the map. We're all gonna get pretty sneaky in this game, guys. This second Rax, if it doesn't get scouted, could completely throw off Soulkey. We're gonna have a Marine pop out here in just a moment. Got the wall at the front. Not a perfect wall, but you will have to retreat with the drone. Overlord is moving around the outside. Will it actually spot that Rax? That would be crazy if the Overlord spots the Rax. RoyaL would be in a lot of trouble in that case. Just moving along the side here. Looks like he's going to find that Overlord. Oh my god, he does find the Overlord. That's huge. He sees the Overlord. He's going to be able to push that back. Might actually have turned the Overlord enough to not find this Rax now. Although Overlord moving over towards the wall a little bit further. I think Soulkey is about to spot this. More Lings coming out here. A lot of Marines moving forward. All he needs is sunken colonies. Sunken colonies at the front. And he's going to be in a great spot. I don't think he's got any drones over at the natural. Maybe he does. Now going to start a sunken colony, I believe. He sees the Rax, but it's a little bit too late. Here comes the bunker. It is in range of the sunken. Not a lot of Lings here, just the 4 plus the drones. Is that enough to actually stop this? Sunken colony's just going to die, guys. No two ways about it. Diving on top here with all of these drones. One drone falls. The rest are going to have to run by. Sunken colony finishes, but it immediately dies to that bunker. Bit of a waste of 50 minerals there. Letting that finish. He's still trying to dive on top of Marines in the line here. Oh god, so many drones go down. 3 drones end up falling. This is a very well disguised attack from RoyaL. RoyaL going to lose one more Marine. Run by with the Lings, able to get a couple more Marine kills, slowing down the damage output of this bunker by a little bit. 3 Marines there in the bunker. Can he get this? Yes, he does. Gets rid of that. Needs to keep filing Lings past to keep shutting down these Marines, but eventually he'll have to deal with the bunker. The bunker is the real problem here. He's pulled the drones off the gas. He's just only making Lings here, guys. The Marines are going to back up for now. He has to pull the trigger on this. He has to go for it. Diving on top of the bunker. He's got the full surround. The repair is pretty good, but the bunker goes down and the hatchery survives with almost no HP. Oh my goodness, this game will go on. Soulkey starts his lair here at the 520 mark. Insane set of events. Diving on top of these Marines. Tries to pull a Marine or 2 out. He's going to save the majority of those and cleans up most of the Lings. More Lings are on the way, though. He's got to get behind this wall now. Behind the wall as soon as possible. Starting up his CC here in a moment. Would love to see him float that barracks over towards Soulkey's base. Although he is going to go Marine Medic. It's just getting the information on what's coming next is so important in a situation like this. You know that Soulkey's been badly damaged. Is he just going to Ling all in? Is he going to start a Hydra Den? What's coming here? Is he re-droning? 10 drones only from Soulkey. More Lings are coming. Dude, oh my gosh. If RoyaL gets caught here at the front, it's going to be so painful. Creep colony back at home. I was not expecting that. He sent all the drones to the natural, and there's a scan at the natural. Dude, he thinks he's re-droning right now and building a sunken colony. There's nothing in this main. He's drawn him out into the map. Oh my gosh, the mind games of Soulkey, they never stop, guys. He jumps on top of these Marines, and he's going to be able to kill them all. RoyaL learning a valuable lesson here today to always scout both bases to make 2. Like, you can't make 2 comsats here. Oh, Firebat in the natural is actually quite big. This has not killed RoyaL, but it's definitely set him back. It's definitely set him back. And now Soulkey can drone. It's still insanely impressive from Soulkey. He's finding a way back into this game, guys. He's actually doing it. He's finding ways to bring himself back from a nearly unwinnable position. Catching that Marine Medic ball. It all came down to the scan. Had RoyaL scanned the main base and seen no drones, or if he'd scanned the natural and Soulkey hadn't moved the drones there, he would have known that something was up and just sat back at home. Got his natural online and waited for a bigger ball of Marine Medic. Put some Firebats in there as well. Then the push becomes absolutely unstoppable, but because of the way that went down, he saw the sunken colony. Like, why would you build a sunken colony? It's crazy to me. It was all part of the mind game, guys. I am just losing my mind here. And I'm sure RoyaL is too. That sunken colony was so big brain. That's giga brain. Move the drones to the natural and build a sunken colony while building only Lings? You definitely want that drone. You 100% need that drone, but he spends it into the sunken colony to draw RoyaL out on the map. And it ends up working out beautifully for him. A Hydralisk Den is on the way here. Mutas are going to be on the field, although 8 minutes 45. The Mutas still aren't out. This is such a wacky game, guys. We're really seeing the power of Soulkey, though. His ability to play from behind. This is an awesome exposition of his ability. Now some mutas are going to start to pop here. Finally making their way across the map, but already Valkyries are being made. There's not too much of a commitment into these mutas, then maybe... Oh, the Firebat's in the bunker. That's actually pretty smart. Pretty often, Soulkey wants to dive on top of that bunker. Bringing Lings and mutas to try and kill that. And so having the fire bat in there makes it very difficult to get the snipe on that bunker. Soulkey, let's see how many mutas he makes and when he transitions. Wow, he's already transitioning. This is so good. This is so good from Soulkey. Having this transition already underway. The Valkyries come out and lurkers are being made back at home. So RoyaL gonna push out slowly. Soulkey just needs to buy a bit of time. Doesn't need to fight the army. He just needs to maybe slow it down a tiny bit. Just keep it at bay just a little bit. Counterattack, potentially. Nope, gonna come and hit this army from behind. Be forced back for the time being. Now it's gonna be hard to keep the third alive. Can he get a hold position lurker play? Might want to do that. As the army comes into the natural. Get ready with the hold position lurker. No vessels out here just yet, and so RoyaL might be caught completely off guard by this. Where are the lurkers now? I don't actually see them. Saw some eggs there in the natural. They might be moving around the outside. Okay, counterattack. Lurker counterattack is what is likely coming here. All right, he sees the lurkers. That's very important. RoyaL sees the lurkers. He knows that they're there. And he will be able to shut this play down. Wow, what a game, guys. What a game. Soulkey just taps out. I thought he would sit back and maybe try to play this one out. With the lurker defense, you can get that third gas online, but this game was too chaotic. He was hoping for a quick win by doing that counterattack, and when it doesn't work out, has to call GG. Hanging in there, though. RoyaL over here in the top left on Minstrel, Soulkey bottom right. Soulkey playing from a deep deficit that last game. Still gave us a very interesting match. Really a pleasure to watch this guy play every single time. And now here we are on Minstrel, game number 6, guys. We're all gonna open with what looks like another One Rack's Fast Expand. Soulkey, is he gonna open 12 hatch again? Always curious to see what kind of build Soulkey does. This is the guy I copy most in my own play these days. Anything he does, I'm at least willing to try it just to see if it's gonna work for me as well. And watching him every time is like a learning experience. I'm taking notes here, guys, as this guy plays. Seeing what I can incorporate into my own play. The depth of understanding from Soulkey is clearly next level. There will indeed be 12 hatch here for Soulkey. 11 pool, 10 gas. Not optimizing for 2.5 hatch, but he may be able to slip in that extra hatch. It's pretty impressive what a Zerg like Soulkey can do with a bit of mineral boosting and really tight timings on getting all these drones out. Even with a couple of drones off the line, one of them checking the natural, scouting, and another one chasing the SCV, he's still able to hit this build at a very high level. We've got the layer on the way pre 3 minutes. Bit of chase micro there, pushing everything back. Good Overlord positioning here, but it's hard to cover all the lanes as a Zerg player. In a situation like this, pretty easy for RoyaL to slip past him if he goes around the long way. For now, though, moving through the middle, 4 Marines have been spotted. Only a few lings have been made so far. This naked Marine move out is quite risky, but could pay dividends if Soulkey doesn't respect it and RoyaL goes in. Could end up taking a critical advantage in this game. Alternatively, if RoyaL pulls back and Soulkey makes a lot of lings, could likewise get yourself into a pretty good spot. Now, if all the Marines die, if there's enough lings made and the Marines end up all going down, this could go really bad for RoyaL. Let's see. Are there going to be any more lings popping out here? Drones are going to be pulled off the line. He's going for it. He's using the minerals in the middle of the map. But you can see with these overlords. And ling speed is done. Ling speed being done makes a huge difference. 3 drones get targeted down, though. Wasn't even really necessary to engage with the drones there after the ling speed was done. But great target fire from RoyaL, getting 3 drones. It's more than 10% of the economy for Soulkey, so good amount of damage there. Going after the SCV. Can he actually get it? He will get the SCV. Going after the Marines now. Medic pops out. That's enough to block this up and hold everything back. But a few bled lings. Or quite a few lings have been bled off there in that counter attack, but Soulkey gonna start to re-drone here. Get into his Spire play and has that 3rd base over in top right as well. That 3rd hatchery gonna go down. What? Is he gonna double expand? Wait, why is this drone here? It seems a little off. Maybe that's what he wants to do. I mean, it doesn't really make sense, but maybe. He's killed enough Marines that RoyaL's not going to be able to push out anytime soon. Okay, armor on the way. I don't know how he could possibly afford another base here. I think he's just forgotten about that. No, he starts it. Oh my goodness. 4 bases? This is already a very difficult map to defend your 3rd base. I don't know how you're going to hold a 4th base here, Soulkey. Especially not after taking some damage from that early Marine attack. He's going to have a hard time redroning, getting up to enough mutas to do anything here. And in fact, he might not even make that many mutas. Maybe he only makes 4 or 5. 4 or 5 and then just drones hard to get these gases online. RoyaL already pushing forward, though. You gotta respect this. These Marines are dangerous, and there's a scan in the natural. 1 Marine moving around the top side. Can Soulkey catch that? Really important that he doesn't allow Marines to get in there and start harassing these drones. In fact, he will not. And so this seems like a bit of a soft point for Soulkey, spreading or splitting off Marines here and there to hit bases, while the main Marine army causes problems and draws attention. Lings are going to come down here, it looks like. Or is that a ling? Not sure. Drone goes down. Yeah, this is so painful. No, the lings are right there. What are they doing? Okay, there they are. I'm going to go ahead and deal with that. We'll send these drones back. Marines moving around the top side. Soulkey hasn't gotten that extra gas online just yet. Not even the 3rd gas has come up. You can see he's really hurting on drone numbers and income. Having a hard time here. RoyaL gonna send 2 different directions. 1 big group towards the main, another one up towards the top right. Soulkey doesn't have enough Sunkens to deal with this. Overlord is going to buy some time for him. Sacrificial Overlord there. I believe that was the one that was part of this Marine, this Mutalisk clump, excuse me. All these Marines are going to die. He immediately needs to pull back, though. Yeah, immediately have to head back home. Mutas here in the natural going down. Sunken Colony taking a lot of damage. It's going to go down here as well. Lings come in. Mutas are in low enough numbers. He can stand and fight here. How many drones can he kill after the fact? Mutas come in from behind. Looks like he gets 2 drones, and then the rest will be cleared immediately. I think RoyaL going to be sending another force out, though. Heading back up towards the top right, trying to drive him back and forth across the map. Soulkey stabilizing for now, but this 4th base still a big weak point for him. What's that he's building there? A Hydra Den? That's funny. You know what? He might never scout that Hydra Den. That Hydra Den might be completely unscouted, and we could see a Valkyrie transition. RoyaL scans, he sees... Oh, you don't even have a transition here. I might as well go Valkyrie, and then a huge amount of lurkers come out. Could put him in a lot of trouble. Yeah, you just never expect it here as the Terran. There's no way he's expecting a 4th base already. Now, this is so quick from Soulkey. He's barely hung on with everything. And this 4th base is going to start to kick in. That gas hasn't been taken yet, but it should be taken pretty soon. Up to 40 drones already. 40 drones, guys, to the 34 workers of RoyaL. This economy is going to start to pop off as all of these get to mining. Here comes those Valkyries. Now, lurker upgrade should be around halfway finished. Here comes the scan. Natural's been scanned, I believe. We're all going to check to see if he can break through there. Valkyrie's doing a great job of pushing back Soulkey. Soulkey all the way back into his natural. Hydras pop out. He's going to see the lurker transition and then start to wonder where are the where are the Hydras coming from? Where's the Hydraless Den? Still doesn't have a lurker upgrade done. And it's a bit too late, guys. I think just 2 sunken colonies and a few lings coming in. Not going to cut it. 1 Valkyrie goes down. The Mutas are being pushed back really heavily. He actually needs to fight this. More lings coming in. Valkyries are doing a great job. This 1 sunken colony trying to hold the line. Another pair of Scourge comes out, and he's able to break through. Mutas are super low right now. Can he get the burrow? Burrow does go down. The scan, though, he kills the burrowed lurker. There's just not quite enough here for Soulkey. Marines are going to go to work on these drones, pulling everything away. He's still got 34 drones to work with. Trying to dive in one more time, but another group of Marines is making its way in the rally. So even if he clears this out, it might just be lights out for Soulkey. Everything goes down here. I think there's a couple of lurkers being made above this space. I'm not sure, though. In between the main and the natural and the 3rd. Lurker A getting morphed here. Ling's going to come from behind. Stim there. Lurkers come down. The hatchery is gone. But everything going to be killed off here. Actually, he does clear it. A lot more Marines coming down in the rally point, though. I think this is just too much for Soulkey. He's not able to produce enough stuff. Look, he's got 900 minerals in the bank. Faltering a little bit here with this build. Having those quick 4 bases and so many drones, he hasn't been able to produce enough, though, to keep up with the Terran. Another round of Marines makes its way to the front. This has been so scary. Hitting over and over and over again, but finally Soulkey holds. It's going to be able to retake this natural. What a crazy game, guys. We've seen some really innovative stuff from Soulkey here today. But I think this one takes the cake, taking that very early 4th base. Pretty interesting stuff from him, and now with that extremely tight hold, can start to stabilize. Oh, we're having a bit of lag here. Apologize for that, guys. Not sure exactly what's going on there, but looks like everything is flattening out once again. Lurkers being stacked up at the natural. It's still a tight hold here for Soulkey, even with everything that's happened. I believe that RoyaL now knows about that 4th base. I don't think he'll be aware of exactly how quick it was taken, but he at least knows that it's there now. Able to delay this 3rd base from RoyaL for quite some time. Crackling upgrade's going to be on the way. We had that +1 armor, I believe, finish here for Soulkey as well. Diving on top of these Marines. He's actually going to get rid of everything. Bunch of Irradiates are going to go down, though. His Lurkers won't make it even past the halfway point of this map. They're just going to be killed. And in fact, he needs to leave this spot. Single Lurker here is just not going to cut it. A lot more lings out for Soulkey. He's resumed mining now on 4 gases. +2, +1, +1 armor for Soulkey. Back into the natural once again. Lurkers popping out in the nick of time just to hold everything. Ling's gonna go around the behind here, try to force the engagement with the Lurkers. Lurkers running up on top of this. Some Scourge coming in as well. Ling's coming in too. Lurkers are gonna unburrow and run away. Not quite enough there on top of everything to push this back. Consume upgrade is about to finish. Are there any Nidus canals setting up between these bases? Definitely needs one online here. He wants to hold on. Does have Consume now. Dark Swarm on top of all this stuff. And the Lurker there under Dark Swarm going to be able to hold the line, at least for now. Bringing some Hydras down to create a little bit of a wall on the left side of that ramp. But RoyaL is continuing to put on this pressure. He's not stopping. We're stuck on 65 supply here as Soulkey. Starting to add some more drones back on now, but this base in top right is wide open. One Dark Swarm. One Lurker is all it takes. Looks like he will be able to hold on to that position for now. Dark Swarm. There it is. Dark Swarm goes down. And drones will start to fall, though. Looks like Soulkey more interested in killing off vessels than saving drones for the time being. Pushing forward here against all of these Lurkers, and Soulkey just gonna leave the game. Too much pressure. Too much of a good spot here for RoyaL. Feels like an early tap out, but Soulkey, he knows better than I do. He was getting pulled left and right, being hit on all different locations, and he just taps out, taking us to game number 7, guys. I'm not too mad about it. Game 7 between RoyaL and Soulkey. This has been a pretty sick series, pretty slick series. Shout out to SOOP for providing this one. Although it's from 2024, glad I got to see it. We got Soulkey top right, RoyaL top left, the repeat on Radion, the run back. The Radion run back here. And in fact, I think these are the same positions, are they not? I seem to remember Zerg top right, and then RoyaL top left with Mita's killing all of his buildings. That is a bit of deja vu. Although it's not that map. Radion here. We'll see if Soulkey can make that magic happen again. Blast RoyaL like he did in game number 1. It doesn't seem like RoyaL's making the same mistakes that he did in game number 1 through the rest of this series. And so I think we'll have quite a different game this time around. Soulkey opening with that 12 hatchery. Another 1 Rax fast expand from RoyaL. Bit of a footsies here in the front. Trying to get that high drone to spit. Getting a couple hits in, but oh, 2 hits from the SCV is kind of crazy. Very hard to do that. Oh my gosh, the moving shot from RoyaL is next level. It was a bit wild. RoyaL actually goes into the mineral line. Does he lose the SCV? Oh yeah, he's gonna lose that for sure. Oh, he gets the drone though. No way, he gets the drone. You're kidding me. Oh my goodness. That SCV, an absolute hero. Managing to get that little bit of damage there. And in fact, it's not just a little bit. That is very painful for Soulkey. Sitting at just 13 drones. Would love to have that 14th. That's gonna have to wait a bit. Gotta get some lings out here to deal with this Marine. Being a little bit pesky. Probably only stay on 4 lings for the time being. Sees the CC is coming online for RoyaL, so he knows it's not another 2 racks with another racks hidden out on the map. That's good information. That CC building there in the natural, and so Soulkey knows how many lings he needs to make right now, because he needs to walk a very close tightrope. Narrow path to walk here for Soulkey to make sure that he doesn't get bowled over and he gets as many drones out as he can to make up that little bit of deficit that he suffered in the early game, losing that early drone. As the Spire on the way now. Just 6 lings with speed. Ready to deal with any naked Marine move out, but RoyaL seems content to sit behind this wall. We'll get a look at the build here pretty soon. Soulkey's sending a drone, what appears to be down to bottom right once again. Go ahead and get that base up, possibly in the natural. We'll see if maybe RoyaL can do what he did in game number 2 and try to harass this with Marines as he contends with the Mutalisks. Soulkey looking for an opportunity to run by. Firebat in the wall, but not quite blocking it completely. He's got the medic there. The medic's going to help out a lot, but he isn't able to kill any of the lings. Ling run by into the main base is huge. 6 lings here are going to ravage some of these SCVs, slowing down the barracks and possibly shutting down some turrets. Is at least delaying turrets being made, because RoyaL is panicking here, running around with his Marines. That was a very good play from Soulkey. He delays everything and makes it so he doesn't have to build this sunken colony. He's got the creek colony, but doesn't have to finish the sunken here. And he makes a bunch more lings, actually. A little bit surprising. Maybe he was expecting the Marines to just go straight across the map and ignore the counter. And so he's got a bunch of lings here. He's hiding them on the left-hand side. If RoyaL starts to push out and another counterattack comes in, that's going to be very frustrating to deal with. 2 lings trying to get some damage onto one of these turrets. Repair there. We'll keep that alive, at least for now. 2 kills. Very good stuff here from Soulkey. Immediately getting those 2 kills. Starting the skirmish with those Marines a bit early, and RoyaL just doesn't see it coming. He loses those first 2 Marines, and now he's on the back foot. Scan down here in bottom right. RoyaL Sees that. Oh, almost snipes a Muta there. 8 HP on that. He'll probably have to just send it home to regain that health over time. No, he puts it in the pack. That's going to die very quickly. Just 2 Marine hits. That thing's going to die. Building up a bunch of colonies at the natural. Soulkey going to defend with Sunkens while going in and just hitting this main base. Lings are going to run by, start to kill the turrets in the natural, forcing some of these units to come back from RoyaL. RoyaL going to send just a small contingent of Marines down to the bottom right, try to kill whatever he can, but he's losing so many SCVs back at home. He has to kill the third and stabilize here quickly, or he's going to be in a world of hurt. Just three Marines. That's going to take a lot of time to kill this hatchery, and Lings are out. Dude, I think Soulkey found himself in a really good spot. Making Lings down here rather than drones was a perfect idea. If he had made a whole bunch of drones there, he might have lost a lot, but he's managed to bring forward some mutas that were in the rally point, along with these Lings that were made bottom right. He's able to deal with this counter from RoyaL, and now RoyaL sitting on 20 SCVs. This is getting to be a real sticky situation for RoyaL. I'm not sure how he can bring this one back with so many mutas available to Soulkey. He can continue to just battle with the Marines that are out now and open up these turret positions. Keep bringing Lings forward. He's the best in the world at doing this type of play, cleaning up Marine Medic with Ling Muta. Doing these type of counter stabs and counter attacks over and over again to just wear down RoyaL. He's going to continue to switch out with the low HP mutas and keep this harassment going while RoyaL just tries his absolute best to stabilize. He's having a hard time of it while Soulkey back at home making a big round of drones and switching into Hydralisk play. Lurkers will be coming out here soon. And Soulkey has that base in bottom right fully droned up. Mining that gas, and will be transitioning into hive play. In fact, I believe that just started. Going after the supply depots here at the front. Now that the turret's been killed, there's open season on these supply depots. Breaking through that line, Lurkers on the way. That transition is coming along nicely. And RoyaL, again, just completely on the back foot here. Has no leg to stand on. Does kill quite a few of these mutas. A bit of a sloppy trade there from Soulkey. Not able to kill that turret, but this Marine Medic attack that's rolling out right now, it needs to do insane damage if RoyaL wants to come back in this game. Like, killing the third base might not even be enough. Maybe Soulkey could just counter him while he's out on the map. Lurkers finish here. Over at the natural, RoyaL realizes he cannot break that natural. And with Lurkers being built down here at the bottom right as well, there's just no place of weakness for Soulkey. 10 workers ahead, guys. A full 10 workers in advantage. Soulkey just looking to close out this game. Slowly but surely picking away at SCVs here. Any damage to this SCV line is critical. At only 23 workers, RoyaL can hardly afford to produce anything. He's going to scan, sees the Defiler Mound finishing up. Any thoughts of breaking through before Defiler now are gone. That is over. RoyaL, he will have to find a way to gear up for the late game. I mean, he's building a tank right now, and I don't see the purpose. There's no way a tank push breaks this with Soulkey having Defiler. He's hoping for a miracle if he wants to go with a tank push. You can see that Soulkey knows that the best solution available to RoyaL would be to get into drop play, to start to hit that main base and try to pull Soulkey apart. And so Soulkey has a ridiculous army waiting there. 4 lurkers, a bunch of lings and mutas, plus Scourge. That is a drop killer of an army. And absolutely smash that down. Awesome. Vessels are going to get in here with a couple of irradiates. Makes it look like he's trying to open up the main by hitting those irradiates, but I don't think that's what he's going for at all. We're going to see tanks coming out, maybe push down towards the bottom right. Maybe he goes for a full-on tank transition. I have no idea what the plan is here for RoyaL, aside from just praying. Just build another base and pray. I think that's the game plan from here. Feels like Soulkey is toying with RoyaL at this point. Says Murray, yeah, I think that's right. There's just nothing in the world that can bring him back in this game. Not against the caliber of play of Soulkey, but we better wait. Hold up. RoyaL's gonna get mines out on the map. Just give him a minute here. Let him cook. Let him cook. Vulture run by as the speed vulture comes into play. Lurkers are going to deal a lot of damage to that. He's going to get a few kills here at the back of this mineral patch. Defiler popping through with some lings to go ahead and clean that out. Mines all over the place. Factories. Factory transition from RoyaL. Alright, guys. We're gonna let him cook. We're gonna put on the bar music. As we're here in our final game. This is game 7. I know some of you guys like this, some of you don't, but I'm a big fan. And it's only one game. Let's see if he can bring it back here, guys. RoyaL's been able to get enough SCVs. He's got 50. Here comes the lift. The factory transition is fully underway. Ultralisk Gavin here from Soulkey. This is kind of a move that I've been critical of in the past, going into Ultralisk, but I see the merits. When you've already got these 4 bases online, you got a big lead. Rather than trying to build a bunch of queens and you go for Hydralisk play, just make tons of Ultras and just bowl over the Terran player. They're not going to have enough of all the stuff that they need to break through. Like, if they just don't have enough tanks to hold you back, as long as you don't allow mines to clear out the Ultras super efficiently, then you're going to be in a good spot. Regardless of the composition, as long as you've got more stuff. Great snipe there on the vessel. Gonna get a plague as well. Okay, not able to get that plague. Looks like the Defiler there bugged out a little bit. Wanted to walk forward again before casting the plague. And so we're gonna have Soulkey expanding here to the center right. I don't think that can be broken. What RoyaL's gonna try to do is just hold the bottom left. You're gonna get a 4th base online and start to spread out on this map. It's gonna be really difficult to hold all of these different lanes though. Very difficult indeed. Oh my gosh, what a mine connection there. Killing off all of his own mines, and now the Lings are actually starting to get in on this base. Even with all the vultures he had, not able to stop the Lings from breaking through. +2 is done. Another vessel goes down. Gonna try and break through here. Dark Swarm. Gonna block everything. And a Plague goes down as well. Nasty Plague there on the front line. Extra base looks like it's going to come up for Soulkey, regardless of what RoyaL has to say about it. And that gas will be ticking away here shortly. 2,400 gas in the bank for Soulkey. 2,500 now, and we're going to see that disappear here pretty soon. Actually, Ultras are on the way. As those Ultras start to pop out. Looks like... sorry, excuse me, not Burrow. Drop play is coming along. Gonna try and rotate around the outside. Maybe bring some lurkers over to the third. That could be a really good move. Oh, nice D-Matrix. Very nice D-Matrix there, saving those two vessels. That would have been a disaster there if RoyaL lost 2 more vessels, but he saves them both. And here are the Ultras. +4 armor is done. Marines are going to try and fight this in the middle of the map, but that's just the first. That's just the vanguard force here for RoyaL. Gonna have to let that go. That'll make the vessels return home. No more anti-air to deal with. The Scourge that can come out to shut those down, and so they'll have to rely on vultures running around to deal any damage. And start to get Goliaths out here pretty soon. Tanks are going to start to siege up. He needs a lot of tanks to prevent these Ultras from just overwhelming him, but he's got so many different locations he needs to defend. Oh, is there a Defiler in here? Yes, there is. Defiler Lurker drop with a few Lings mixed in as well for good measure. Here it comes. Going to hit this third base. There's not enough defense over here. This might be the tap out moment, actually. As soon as those lurkers with the Dark Swarm land, SCVs are going to have to retreat. RoyaL lifting that off. He's going to bring all of his vessels over here to quickly irradiate and clear this out. It's still painful. Nice Plagues going down on all of these units. Very frustrating stuff. Maybe even bring one Muta to go and try and clean those out. I would love to see a Queen get made at this point, too. Haha, Burrowed Lings. Can't kill the Burrowed Lings under Dark Swarm, unfortunately. Oh my god! Oh no. I'm not sure why those vessels were there. That was a big mistake from RoyaL. Sending the vessels to top center makes no sense at all, and he's going to have to tap out. So many bases were coming online here for Soulkey. And that drop was tactical genius to just break through. Didn't even have to bring all of the Ultras together in one big mass to try and break through the tank line. Able to surgically get in there and just end this game. Yeah, it was over a long time ago. I definitely agree. Soulkey getting the better end of that early game. Oh, it looks like we're having a bit of a replay. Instant replay. I guess this is the Plague at the end of the game. I personally would have liked to see an instant replay of the run by from Soulkey when he got in there on the main base. Yeah, I don't know why he sent these out like this. That didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but we're gonna get to see that satisfying pick up on all the kills and this lurker. Oh, wow. Ooh. Painful. So many SCVs going down there. And of course had to GG after that moment. It was a nice attempt by RoyaL to just try it, to try to come back in this game. But inevitably, I'm going to see that Soulkey victory. Ben Jixer coming in with another 100 gems. Dude, you are a legend. Thank you so much. We're getting very close to that 3,000 goal. And guys, it's been my absolute pleasure to entertain you with these games. This has been a whole lot of fun. And I'm really hoping that this duel series can continue. If not, we'll look for other means, other areas to, other things to cast for sure. More opportunities will open up in the future. I think we've done our part in this partnership. You guys have done a great job of showing up and giving donations. We still need to work on the view count though, guys. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you're interested in dropping by, helping to support by being here in the live chat, check the description. SOOP Duel Series is live on sctv.en over on SOOP. And I just got a little message here, guys. Tomorrow, Queen versus Minnie. That should be another fun series for sure. Queen versus Minnie. Minnie always awesome to watch. I love watching that guy play. So that'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, if you guys are watching on YouTube, get over here into the SOOP Live. Set. Was it 6 or 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time? I can't even remember now. I haven't put out that announcement for a while. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the one. I would really appreciate it. And of course, if you can give to the channel, part of that donation goes to SOOP directly, the guys who put on this series, and also the ASL. You can support myself and that company at the same time, which is awesome. Thanks everybody for watching. This is the end. We'll see you in the next video. SOOP Duel Series, another one tomorrow, guys. Minnie versus Queen. And then, of course, on Monday, we're going to be back with the SCSL once again. And that's going to be at 7 p.m. Korean Standard Time. If you guys aren't able to watch the SOOP Duel Series live, then you can definitely catch that live, as well as the KCM on Fridays. Again, big shout out to Ben Jixer and all the Patreon supporters as well. Also, Murray SC or SCI. Thank you for the support, guys. See you in the next one.